But there's still like this just incessant, mom, 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 Henry touched me, mom.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm just going to have to roll with it. And I guess my work might take a little bit longer than normal, but oh well. All right. Well, I'm recording, and I know that our time is precious. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And if anybody hops on, that's great. If not, that's fine. So today first of all, let me say that I pray for you guys a lot in your businesses, but I don't pray with you. And I feel like that's something that God's leading me to do more with you. So I'm going to stop and say a brief prayer before we get started, just to kick off our call, because I think that's important. And I love to hear people pray for me. But anyways, here I go. So, God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for this time that we have, even though it's brief. And God, I pray that you would bless it, that you would just guide my words and help me to guide these ladies in a way that is beneficial to them. God, above all else, I pray that we would bring honor and glory to you through all that we do, including with this business and how we help people and in our conversations. And God, just please help us to put you first in all that we do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I was telling Timmy that the other night. I was like, I talk about the fact that I pray for everybody all the time, but I don't ever pray for people on our calls and stuff, and I really want to start doing that. I'm such a I'm just like, let's do this, and I always just rush through things. But I need to be more intentional. So today I wanted to talk to you guys. Okay, so you guys know, if you're in phase 2, whatever this is called, it's also called 4 vital behaviors or whatever, but it's the next step up after Coach Basics. So once you've gotten in this group, you have the basics. You know what to do. You need to be posting 3 to 5 times a day. You need to be running challenge groups every month. You need to be inviting to those. Invite. You've got to track your business. I think that maybe at this point where y'all are at, I did not track my business. I honestly didn't track my business well for a year and a half. But I managed to hit Success Club. And you know that you need to follow up with people and be doing your personal development, right? All that. But this is really where you kind of take all that and you refine it. You figure out what, you are. You're going to hear me talk a lot about that this week. You are the CEO of your business. It is your business. It is your decision to take what works, what you're learning, and put it into practice or not. And so you at this point have to take all those things and you kind of figure out really how to make it work for you and to make the most of the time that you have to do this business, right? Another component that when I really started to get serious about this business, I'm gonna get out of the sun because my shoulders are sunburnt. When I really started to get serious about this business is that I tried to figure out what's my voice. I feel like anybody can come in as a coach and post about workouts and post about challenge groups and Shakeology and invite people and hit Success Club. But at some point you really kind of have to figure out, who are you talking to? What is your Beachbody story? My Beachbody story doesn't just surround or involve Beachbody, but it includes my faith. It includes, you hear me talk a lot about my cholesterol, about my hormones. You hear me talk about more and more now, self-confidence, what is your Beachbody story? I think I challenged you guys at one point. No, that was the other group. I challenged the people who were pushing for Diamond to come up with kind of your pocket speech. If you in the instant, if you needed to make a post and or somebody asked you about why are you a coach or why should I join your challenge groups or something, you should know what's your story. You should be able to sit down and type it out or have it saved in Evernote or to be able to talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it with the person that you meet at a small group or at the grocery store or something, right? And honestly, guys, coaching, as much as it has made me uncomfortable and as much as it has pushed me and as many times as I have gotten into seasons of doubt and wanted to quit, if nothing else, Beachbody, God has used Beachbody, let me say it that way, to help me discover more of who I am. And I am probably despite what most people believe, like I'm more of an introvert than an extrovert. Like I really spent years and years and years like trying to hide behind other things, whether it was like school and grades, or at one point, like, partying and alcohol, or, my husband and my family. I really feel like Beachbody has given me this outlet to be able to figure out who Rachel is. Like, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's been a slow discovery. It's been at times a painful discovery, but it's something that my story has evolved over the past 2.5, 3 years as I have grown, as I've challenged myself, as I have, gone farther in this business. Because I'll tell you, while yes, it's easier for me to hit Success Club now because I've been so consistent. I've built this following, and but really I've gotten better at sharing my story. And it's like, as it sounds like a contradiction, but the more specific you get, the more specific with the like points of your story that you get, the more specific you get with the type of people that you're targeting and want to invite and draw into your team, the more successful you will be. So you might think, I need to just extend this open blanket to everybody. I'm not going to target just moms, or just homeschooling moms, or just full-time working moms. I'm not going to target just this or just that, or just people who have struggled with a eating disorder. But the more specific that you get, the deeper you dig, the more specific you get with yourself about what is your story, what is your brand, who are you talking to, then you're actually going to draw in more people, if that makes sense. Okay. And so managing your time and getting more specific with who you are, what is your brand, what is your story, those are two things I'm really going to challenge you guys with this month. And so I promised that I would talk about how I hit Success Club so early in the month. And so like, I'm going to share with you and I've shared this before, but I really want to get specific with you. I always, aside, and I'm not just like leaving those two topics, as far as time management and branding, but I'm going to get back to those a little bit today. But guys, I work from a list. Like, one of the things that whenever my business really started to grow, whenever I stopped just saying, okay, I'm just going to hit Success Club every month, and that, I might recruit somebody as a coach if they say they want to, but I'm not really going to go after it. But when I decided in January of 2016 that I was going to grow my business, like, I had to start getting very intentional with my time. And so we know what our power hours should consist of, right? Every day I work from a list. Every day my goal is to get up and to invite, to follow up, to make my posts for the day, to do my personal development for sure, and to just make sure that I'm being consistent in sharing my story and posting on social media. Those are the things that I have to do in order to grow a business, in order to hit Success Club. A huge component of what I do as a coach that I honestly see a lot of coaches just kind of skip over. They go hard and fast after the inviting portion of it and the follow-up portion of it, but they neglect the relationship building part of it. And I will tell you over and over, that is my favorite part of this business. Like, I love meeting new people. I love making new friends. I don't care if they join a challenge group or not. Like, I have met some of the absolute coolest people on Instagram who will never ever join my challenge group. But these ladies encourage me, they inspire me, and I do them as well. And so like, it's okay. Like, the way that so many people are intimidated by reaching out to people, by inviting people. And I really see it as kind of a win-win. If they decide to join my challenge group, awesome. If they don't, then I've made a friend, And so that's kind of my mindset. And I spend a good bit of my power hour and my 80% that I spend on my business, I spend time doing that. And so, Lauren, did you have a question? Oh, you okay? That's okay.
No, I just flipped my phone over.
Oh, okay. So that is what I do. And so, like, guys, I always have a list of names of people that is really long, either that I've started conversations with, that I'm like just connecting with, that I'm liking their posts, that I've invited, that I need to follow up with. Like, I always start every single month with that list of people. And so by the time May 1st rolls around, like I'm hustling, like getting those challenge pack links out there. I am following up saying, hey girl, you know, you wanted to join this challenge group. Do you still want to join the challenge group? You know, I've got your name on one of my spots. I'm following up with people who have been interested in the coaching opportunity. Like I'm hustling because my goal is to hit Success Club in the first 2 or 3 days. All right. Because for me personally, that gets it out of the way. I can relax. I can focus on, you know, my content, like investing in my challengers and my challenge group scripts. I can focus on coaching and recruiting and talking about coaching. And so like getting Success Club out of the way is a major, major drive for me. Because while I think it's okay, I spent just too many months just kind of like skirting along and then saying I'll hit it at the end of the month. If I get stung by a bee and start screaming, like that's what happened. But anyways, so I always have this huge list. And this month I had a list of people that have either told me in the past no to a and that's another thing. Like I don't take no as a final answer ever. And not in an obnoxious, I'm going to hound you to death until you say yes way, but in a way that like I've opened this relationship and I'm going to keep this relationship going. And I'm going to continue to add value and follow up and say, hey girl, how you doing? I know you want to make some healthy changes. Have you been able to? And if the conversation continues, I'm going to invite them to the challenge group again, you know? So like my approach and really what I want our team, our approach to be is that no matter what stage of the conversation people are in, we are adding value. Like they walk away from a conversation with us and they have been enriched. They have been blessed. They have been encouraged. Sorry, there's these bees. And that's kind of just my approach. And I feel like people know that. They get that. They trust me. And so like at some point, I mean, really guys, honestly, most of the people, I don't know like percentage wise, but I would say like 60 to 70% of the people that I invite to a challenge group end up joining a challenge group. Now, 2 of the people that joined right away this month were people that I have talked to for over a year. So it wasn't like I just invited some people and they said yes and joined my challenge group. No, they're people that I have been investing in some way or another for over a year, and they just weren't ready, or maybe they didn't trust me. I don't know, but you know, like they came around. And I say that came around like we have the only solution. I don't believe that, but I do believe our approach and our solution is good. And so that combined with the fact that people see that, they get that in my posts, like they see that I believe in what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, and I'm so consistent in talking about it, period. People just trust me. And if they don't at first, then by golly, a year from now, they're going to trust me, right? And so that is my approach. I always have a list, a huge list of people that I am working from. And when I wasn't tracking, I didn't have that list, right? When I wasn't tracking, I just kind of was flying by the seat of my pants if I remembered, or I went back to a conversation and was like, oh yeah, I talked to her before. I need to ask her again. That didn't work. But now I carry over, like literally, this is my calendar, and I think I've shown you guys this before. But let's see, this may not be the right calendar. But like, for example, this is a list from March. Like I started March with that list. That was before I connected, before I added friends, before I invited people. Like I had a list of close to 20 people long that I knew I could follow up with. I knew were interested at some point in a challenge group that, like, you know, they were potential challengers for that month. And so I'm always doing that. And another thing that I do that works well for me that I don't see a lot of coaches doing is that once I hit Success Club, I don't stop inviting. Like I don't stop. Like I don't stop connecting. I don't stop, you know, sending hey girl messages. I don't stop following up. I continue to do that all month long. Now, what am I inviting to? Like once my challenge group starts, I'm not as heavily focused on inviting to a challenge group, but I am continuing to connect. I'm continuing to follow up, and I'm continuing to add value and encourage people. And I might just take a name or two from a list every single day and say, hey, you know, I know we talked a few months ago. You weren't ready to join a challenge group, but I knew you were going to start making some changes. How is that working? Do you need any help with some recipe ideas or something like that? And so, boom, I have like inserted some value into somebody's life. They know that I'm not just there to sell them something, and that works for my business. Okay. And so once I hit Success Club, I don't stop inviting. I'm at Success Club 12, probably going to be at Success Club like 16 in the next couple of days, but I don't want to stop, because the more people I get into a challenge group, the more people I potentially can help, the more people that will have results, the more people that I have to pull from who might be interested in coaching. And, you know, and so it's income and everything else. So like, I just don't stop. And so I continue to invite, and if people say, no, not right now, or I say, can I follow up for my June challenge group? And they're like, yes. So their name goes down on my list. Okay. And so that's my approach. I connect with people who follow me regularly. So like, especially, I'm really starting to use Instagram, guys. And it's a slower process, but if you're on Instagram and you're using those hashtags like Timmy shared with us, and like I've shared with you guys about, you're going to have new followers every single day. You don't even have to find somebody. Like, if you're using hashtags and you're posting on Instagram every single day, y'all, my little dog Rebel, the bees are going after him and he is not having it. That is so cute. This is so entertaining. So like, if you're connecting with people on Instagram every day, if you're posting, if you're using hashtags, people are going to find you. I do spend some time going to find people, but I don't spend a lot of time looking for people on Instagram. They find me because of my hashtags. Oh, I hope you didn't get bit. I'm sorry. I'm like a squirrel today. Sorry. But anyway, so like, I notice, like, within a week's time, I'll notice that so-and-so, I can't think of usernames, handles, or whatever they're called on Instagram, but the same person is liking my posts consistently. And obviously you get a lot of spam and like companies that follow you on Instagram, but there are real people that will start to follow you. And that is where Dee came from. That is where Andrea came from. That is where, Jackie Hodges, like Ginger Park. I'm just naming people from like other parts of the country that found me through Instagram. All right. So like, I will notice and I'll start to see, I have seen her name once or twice before from liking my posts. And so I'll go to her page, I'll follow her, I will like and comment on some of her posts. And then when my next challenge group comes up, I will send her a private message and say, hey, thanks so much for supporting me. I am more direct on Instagram, I'll tell you that. I say, hey, so thanks so much for supporting me. I hope that you're encouraged in some way. I really just felt led. I'm planning my next challenge group, and you know that I'm all about health and fitness, but there's also a faith aspect to our challenge groups, and I wanted to see if you'd be interested in joining my next challenge group. If you are, let me know and I can tell you more. Okay. So that's like a sample message I would send to someone on Instagram. So I'm consistently throughout the month, throughout the week, connecting with people who follow me regularly. And as I do, I'm putting their name on a list. Okay. I'm using Google Streak. I have a connecting list. I put their name in there and say, I'll send a message to Cara today, on May 8th, and gave her this compliment, asked her if she'd be interested in joining the challenge group. And so I can track it. I can track that conversation every time that I talk to her. Another thing that has really shifted in my business, and I could really, really pray for you guys that it would shift earlier rather than later too, is that, and if you don't follow Carl Deichler, please follow Carl Deichler on social media. He's amazing. Okay. He's very inspirational, and that dude's heart is real. It's legit. But like, I just kind of, like I said, just kind of floated along for a really long time. But once I really got serious about this business, I really started to follow like people like Carl Deichler and, other top coaches and things. Like, I realized more than anything, like, this business, this company, not just my business, not just Rachel's, is about helping people. And like, I go into every conversation, every invite, every follow-up, whatever, with that mindset, like, who can I help today? Who am I going to be able to encourage today? Whose life can I add value to today? And I never, ever, guys, there have been points, obviously, but I don't feel spammy. I don't feel salesy. I don't feel like I'm pushing a product on somebody. I feel like I'm out there trying to help people every single day. And that mindset shift, that mindset change has definitely changed my business. And I think that people can sense that. Even when we do most of our business through social media, through a computer. We type messages, but I swear people can sense that genuineness, that desire to help them in your messages. And so that is that mindset shift was really huge for me. Instead of just thinking, how many points can I get this month? Or can I get Success Club this month? When I started to change and started to say, just who can I help every single day? That was different. Another thing in my business is like I work my power hour when I know I have the most energy, when I know I have the most passion, because like you guys can probably relate. When it comes to like 7 o'clock at night, like I don't have a whole lot of energy. Like honestly, it's kind of, I have to like sit and psych myself up for team calls at night because that's a really hard time of the day for me. I'm just not, I don't feel energized. I don't feel passionate at that time. And so like, I know that my best time to work my business is, and I do get up early. Like I do, because I don't want to be doing it the whole time. I'm like getting ready or trying to talk to my kids before they go to school. I get up early. I do my devotional. I do my workout because those two things like really fuel my fire. After I've had my time with God, after I've had my workout, I feel good at that point. Like I feel really, really good. And so like that is a good time for me to reach out to people. That is a good time for me to connect with people. That's a good time for me to invite because I feel I am living proof and I feel it at that point of the products of what I'm doing. And I check in the mornings with my challengers too, and that gets me hyped up. So I know that if I can get part of my power hour or at least some invites or connections done in the morning, then it's going to be more heartfelt. It's going to be more genuine. And that excitement that I have is going to come through in my posts as well. And so do your power hour when you feel the best, if you can. Like I understand that we have kids. Like I understand we don't want to give all of our best to Beachbody, but if you can carve out 20 or 30 minutes when you have that energy to send out your invites, I think you're going to feel a difference. You're going to see a difference in your business. And the last thing that I really wanted to stress was that I stay plugged in. Like I am always, like I've been a coach for 2.5 going on 3 years. I'm a 2-star diamond coach. But guys, I have never, ever missed a coach training. Like I've never, ever just opted out of a coach training 1 month because I didn't feel like doing it. I may not make all the calls. I may not post in the group every single day, but I am always in new coach mode. Like I am always willing to learn. I always know I can learn. And I do get on all the calls. Like for our diamond calls, I'm always learning because honestly, like when I check out, if I don't stay connected for myself, then I lose that momentum. I lose that fire. And so whenever I get on our Rising Stars call every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock, like I walk away from that call ready to go for it because Melanie has motivated me or someone else has motivated me. And like, I think it's really important to hear how other coaches run this business because honestly, sometimes I do get tired of hearing Melanie say the same thing over and over and over. I've been her coach for 2.5 years and I'll always be her coach, but she runs her business. I mean, we all try new things, but it's fun sometimes to hear how Christina Delgado or Bonnie Engel or somebody else, runs their business because they do it in different ways. And I take away something from those calls every single time. So, staying plugged in is something that keeps my juices flowing. It keeps me from losing that momentum. It keeps me from losing that like commitment, that level of commitment that you just have to have. And so I was actually reading this book. It's called The 12-Week Year. That's kind of one of my personal development things right now. And he's talking about in one of these chapters, this really hit home for me. I listen to these books and I read them because I just have to. I learn that way. At the end of one of these chapters, he says that we have to act on commitments and not feeling. And that really struck out to me because I can totally let my feelings guide my actions. And I won't say just in this business. I think that in anything, like we can't do that because we're not always gonna feel like doing our power hour. We're not always gonna feel like following up with people. We're not always gonna feel like putting out a challenge group ad or a post. But if we committed to running this business, it's just like any other business. Like I'm not just gonna not go to work one day because I don't feel like it, right? I'm committed. Like I'm employed by Itawamba Community College. If I don't show up, they're gonna fire my butt, And this is the same thing. Like I think that that's what gets people off track is they don't view this business as the same type of commitment. But when you commit to this and you do the work, even when you don't feel like it, like you're gonna be successful. Andrea is like, I wish she was on this call. So I could just shout her out. she is a perfect example. Like that girl, especially with her pregnancy, she goes through ups and downs like nobody's business. Like she gets discouraged and, but she does her work anyways. And she's had drier spells. Sure, we all have. But she shows up. She shows up to calls. She does her invites. She follows up with people. She talks about the coaching opportunity, and it pays off. Like it ends up paying off because she commits to it, even though sometimes she may not feel like it. And so she's just a good example that I can think of. And I'm sure, lots of people on our team do, but she just popped to my mind first. So that's kind of, those are the things I wanted to share with you guys today. Do you have any questions or anything that you're struggling with right now, or anything that's going well for you? Because if you're on this call, I'm kind of talking to people who really want to do something in this business. And so what talk to me. No, Lauren, are you just you playing with your phone? Oh.
Yeah, because my battery's dying, so I'm trying
okay.
to figure out how to plug it in and still. So I'm I don't know. Anyhow,
It's okay.
It's one of those oh, my phone's dying. I think one of my challenges for me that I'm having is going from just kind of that chatting into the actual invite. So kind of hey, kind of that initial talk and conversation, but then it doesn't always naturally flow into the actual invite.
Yes. Okay. And so that's one thing that for me personally, so as a new coach, I didn't do event pages. We didn't start doing those until I don't know, 6-8 months ago. All right. But I find for me personally, that event page works well for me because I can start a conversation with people and we can talk about kids, we can talk about clothes, we can talk about whatever, and we can connect. And I can, a lot of times that will lead to them starting to follow me more, right, and start, pay attention. But if they don't reach out to me based on one of my posts, then I'll use that invite and I will click share, invite friends. I'll invite them and send them the invite. And then I'll turn around and I'll send them a message and say, hey girl, I know we've been talking about this, but I'm planning for my next challenge group. And I just really felt led to reach out and invite you to this challenge group. It's all about faith and fitness, and we're going to meal plan and work out and hold each other accountable. I don't even know if you have any fitness goals, but if you do, I would love for you to join us. And that's it.
Okay.
Everybody has fitness goals. Everybody has fitness goals, right? And so I use the event page as I always say, as a buffer. So I'm not just saying, hey, do you want to join my challenge group? Which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But, you feel differently in different conversations.
Right. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, I would definitely, that event page is money, guys. It's really helpful. Lindsay.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
I'm just trying to recover from being gone.
Where'd y'all go?
We went to Texas.
Oh my gosh.
Aaron's sister lives there.
You drove to Texas?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Where in Texas? Lindsay, where in Texas were you?
She bleeped out.
Yeah, she did. It's only 12 hours from Dallas to Birmingham.
I know.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties.
That's fine.
Where were you in Texas?
Any.
Can't hear.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You said we lived growing up in
me now?
Yeah.
There you go. There you are.
Okay. I was in McKinney.
Where's that?
You're so close to me.
Was I?
Yes.
And back
in
North Dallas.
We should have worked out together.
I know.
You know that Ashley lives in Dallas now.
Oh, does she?
Ashley Gottschang.
You told me she moved, but I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Y'all, this week was just it's Aaron's family. And so I was kind of in an awkward position about what I was doing with my time and all that. And so I told Rachel, Aaron was not very happy about me, trying to get in my power hour and any of that stuff. And so I was just kind of doing the best I could. So
I think you did a good job. I mean, from the outside.
I'm in recovery mode now. So I'm just like, and I didn't get any school done either. So and I'm still like 3 or 4 weeks out from finishing school. So
yeah,
and which is bad because you know, most people are done by now.
That's not bad. You do this to fit your schedule. So if it fits your schedule, then that's all that matters.
I know. I'm really like learning to let God on this one because I've got so many things going on. Yeah. So I still haven't decided like what I'm gonna do. Like I haven't been able to like narrow down my invites even because I don't want to start a new challenge group.
Right. Hey, well, listen, I mean, I have one starting Monday. So, I mean, if you have people that you think are ready to do something and you want to add them to mine, I mean, that's not a problem.
Well, I am like, I add people in when I like fit people and do my power hour and everything, I can add friends all day long, and I can even send that initial like hey girl message, and that's really not something that I struggle with. The problem I struggle with is the inviting. Like Lauren said, I really struggle getting from that natural flow of conversation to the inviting part, and so I just feel like such a spaz all the time, and it's so frustrating because I have that mindset where I feel like I'm helping people, but at the same time, I mean, that's not my issue. But I just still feel like, well, that's really random. I don't want to go there yet.
Yeah.
And I'm just spazzy. I don't know.
So have you tried it? Like, have you tried just going there?
Yeah, a couple of times. And last month when I was so worried about hitting Success Club, that's when I like got the most no's, and I said like I feel okay with getting no's, but
no's are good. I mean
and I was okay with that, but I just haven't gotten back into that mode yet because I've just been kind of crazy.
Okay.
But okay. That was very helpful though. But I do have to go.
Okay.
So thank you for this because I do think this is going to be very helpful.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye guys.
All right. So Lauren, yes, just start going there. Just start going there in those conversations. Do you have an event page created?
Not yet. I still can't decide when to start my next group because I just started mine last week. I kept pushing it because of people. So I started like the beginning of May. So it's just trying to figure out when I want to, because of Memorial Day and Mother's Day, and when I want to start the next one is. It's like if you start on the 22nd, then that makes the beginning of active week start Memorial weekend, which no one's going to be engaged.
Yeah.
So,
well, I would do one of two things. Like I would either just like invite people and you can do like a quick prep week with them and then add them to your current challenge group and just let that one continue until June, whenever your next one starts.
Okay.
Or you can start one the day after Memorial Day, but you're going to be pushing it, trying to hit Success Club.
Right.
And you need to get back into a rhythm of starting your challenge groups like in the
middle of the month. Yeah.
So like, I mean, I would just do like I don't know, I would just be inviting people. I mean, it's good to have a start date. I feel like to invite people to get people to connect, but maybe you do like a Mother's Day special or something. Where, now through Mother's Day, whoever signs up, you do this, or you do that, I don't know. You can use. And then, say, I'll help you get started and you can kick this year off as the healthiest mom you've ever been, whatever. And you can give them some kind of incentive and just say now through Mother's Day. And, but first go and offer that to people you've talked to in the past that didn't commit.
Right.
And then post about it.
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah. And then like even you can create an event page just for like a Mother's Day, moms, let's get fit together kind of thing,
Okay.
And you can start it. What is today? Monday?
Today's
start
Monday.
It today. And then have it end like next Monday. So that way you still have an event to use for your conversations.
Right. Okay.
And then you can just do a prep week with them and then put them in your current challenge group.
Okay. That'll work.
Yeah.
That will work. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Good deal.
Well, I'm going to let you go then. And I'm going to post this recording when we're done.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks for showing up. Bye.